Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Mars, turn 12. Okay, Warsaw Pact is up. They repaired a total of 10 damage. They had damage to a major army base in East Germany, and if I remember right, also to where else was it? Major army base in East Germany. Oh, and the major air base in East Germany as well. They missed all their tech rolls. They decided to build 2 artillery, 3 mechanized infantry, 1 SAM, and 1 SPAG. They didn't do any combat because they don't have enough power to be able to hit anywhere without leaving themselves open to a pretty devastating counterattack. So they held back. Their income was 19 plus 10 for computers, 6 for Africa, and 2 for the occupied oil fields, put 37 in their bank. NATO repaired 7 damage. They had damage to major army base in Rhineland and they had damage to something else. I just can't remember what it is at the moment. Anyway, they repaired 7 damage. They also missed all of their tech dice. They also came up short when they rolled for counterforce nuclear release authorization. They decided to build 2 fighters, 2 mechanized infantry, 2 MBTs, and 1 paramilitary. Now for combat, NATO shot all 3 of its theater missiles. Get over here. They shot 1 theater missile at major army base in West Poland. They shot another one at minor army base in Hungary, and the third at minor army base in Romania. In West Poland, they got in there and hit for 6 damage. The missiles shot at Hungary and Romania were both shot down. Okay, then NATO decided to come over here and counterattack Denmark, which, as you can see, they were successful. They recaptured it at the cost of 2 mechanized infantry. And they also went in and attacked East Germany. And as you can see, they were successful again. This battle did involve battlefield nukes. It cost them a SAM, 3 mechanized infantry, 2 MBTs, 1 air superiority fighter, and 1 strategic bomber. But they did capture East Germany, so the Warsaw Pact front line has been breached completely from north to south. All right, NATO's income's 49, minus 4 for lost oil, plus 1 that they saved, put 46 in their bank. Okay, then, get the right page here. Soviet Global. Give you a Soviet Global view there. Soviet Global repaired 8 damage. They also missed all of their tech dice. For some reason, the tech dice have just gone cold on everybody this turn. For military aid, they decided to send Warsaw Pact 2 mechanized infantry. For themselves, they bought 2 mechs, 2 artillery, 2 next generation MBTs, and 2 MBTs. Okay, for combat, let's go around this way. The SSN here in I-11 shot 2 anti-ship missiles at the American carrier there in I-6, but both of the missiles missed. Then in M4, the Soviet backfire here came down and shot 2 KH-22 anti-ship missiles at this NATO supercarrier in M4. There was also, they were escorted by an advanced air superiority fighter that was Top Gun. This naval attack bomber up there in eastern Ukraine also came down to shoot an anti-ship missile. NATO decided to intercept the raid. They sent out a fighter and a Top Gun air superiority fighter from the carrier. The NATO fighter was shot down, and the Soviet advanced air superiority fighter was shot down. They decided to take that casualty rather than the naval attack bomber so it could go ahead and shoot its missile. But it didn't really matter in the end because all 3 anti-ship missiles missed their target. So, no damage. Then, back up north here, as you can see, NATO counterattacked. No, in Denmark, NATO did a surgical strike. They shot 2 cruise missiles in there, along with, just 2 cruise missiles with spy satellite support. They got 1 hit and killed a Soviet air cav. Am I on the, hang on a second. No, that's the right page. Oh, no wonder it's on. I'm reading from the wrong section. I'm reading from Soviet Global. Wait, that's who I'm supposed to be reading. Okay, I got confused on who I was doing there for a second. Sorry about that. Soviet Global did a surgical strike against Denmark and killed an air cav. There we go. Now we're back on track. The Soviet income's 44. They had a total of 10 in wartime bonuses to put 54 in their bank. Okay, U.S. Global. Not much to see there, but there they are. Out of their 4 tech rolls, they only hit 1, which completed advanced manufacturing. For military aid, they decided to send an attack bomber to NATO again, and they sent a naval fighter to Pacific Command. They finished the cruiser that was on the build queue for themselves. They also built 2 frigates and a destroyer, an attack chopper, an A-10, 2 fighters, and a paramilitary. Okay, for combat, back over here to the Indian Ocean, the Viking from the carrier here came down to I-11 and attacked the Soviet SSN, and as you can see, they missed and it went on silent running. The Vikings continuing on ASW patrol in I-11 to try to hold that sub down. Let's see. Tehran, the B-52 from Diego Garcia, went up again and shot 2 cruise missiles at the minor army base in Tehran and scored 8 damage. U.S. forces from Suez attacked western Egypt and finally captured it. The battle cost them 2 fighters, a SAM, and a light infantry. U.S. forces in the Middle East launched a surgical strike on Mosul. Everybody missed, no hits. There was an attack bomber, an A-10, and a stealth fighter that went in on that attack, and everybody missed. Okay, up north here again. The B-1 bomber, based in southern England, went and did its thing again. It flew over here to the Baltic Sea and launched a paving strike against the major air base there in West Poland, which was successful, scoring 2 damage and preventing this fighter from being able to scramble. So as a response, after the paving strike, then the B-1 shot its nuclear cruise missile into western Poland. They were also joined in the surgical strike by an A-10 and a stealth fighter. A-10s, yeah. And they scored a total of 3 hits. They took out, they had spy satellite support, so they target selected 2 artillery and 1 mech. The American theater missile was shot at the major or minor army base in Hungary, but it was shot down, so it didn't make it in. The U.S. global income is 58, plus 8 for their bonus, minus 2 for oil loss, put 64 in their bank. Okay, then we shift to our other theater of war. Far East Command didn't really do a whole lot this turn. A bit, but not a whole lot. They rolled once again for counterforce release authorization and failed. No, actually they didn't. They already had it. Never mind. They built 3 nuclear attack subs, 3 light infantry, and 2 MBTs. For combat, they shot a theater missile at the major army base in Zhejiang. They scored 5 damage on that. And then an airborne from Beijing, which does have a working minor air base, went 1, 2, 3 spaces over here. I think I got that right. There's a guy sitting right there on the border's got me wondering, so now I gotta double check myself. 1, 2, yes, they were able to get through there. The airborne came down here and did an airborne assault in southern Yunnan, which only had a SAM holding it. So the SAM took its first strike shot against the airborne and missed. The airborne attacked and missed, and then in the second round, the SAM had to retire, and the airborne captured the undefended zone. So they captured it with no loss. FEC's income is 20 plus, what is it, 30, 16 in bonuses, put 36 in their bank. Pacific Command, I'm going to give you a little wider view, there we go. Pacific Command rolled again for counterforce release authorization and failed. They built an S-3 Viking, an attack helicopter, 2 Marines, a SPAG, and 2 replacement oil tankers. They did not do any combat. You can see they've got tankers in there again. They've got a diesel boat headed toward that sea zone to protect the tankers. Just quickly, they shifted the B-52 from Guam over to South Vietnam. Up there, they've got their amphibs, each with a Sea Cobra on there. Marines ashore waiting to load up. They got a couple of escorts. One of, let's see, the chopper that had been on permanent ASW patrolling P-15 has landed. So he may be moving on to other duties in the future. And that was, there was a Navy fighter down there based on Okinawa, and it non-combat moved up to join the carriers up there in Japan. So that both of those carriers once again have a full air complement aboard. Okay, since they rebuilt the oil tankers, there's no more penalties, so their income is 27, and all of it went into their bank. China. China repaired 5 damage to the major army base in Zhejiang. They missed their tech roll. With the money they had left after damage repair, they decided to build 5 paramilitary. They didn't do any combat. They don't have the strength to attack without causing themselves worse problems on the next turn. So no combat movement, or non-combat movement. Their income is still 16, plus one they saved, put 17 in their bank. And now, since this is the end of turn 12, we are going to roll for variable turn end. We look up here and we see that the fallout marker is on 21. So let me dig out my version of the D100. I have 2 10-sided dice. One die is the 10s, the other die is the 1s. So let's see what we get. 44. So the war continues. Ozark Outpost. Over and out.